Welcome back. I had pretty good luck, I felt, with the looking at some puzzles by themes just a couple of days ago. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to try to find the puzzle categories or themes in which I have 0%, which means either I haven't tried any puzzles with that yet, or I have failed all the ones that I've tried. So let's just get to it. Here on the custom puzzles page on chess.com, there is a list of themes here on the right. You can scroll up and down, and it says all themes. I have a puzzle rating of 84%. And as you can see from the little pop-up box, I've had 282 rated attempts on all the themes. So I've passed or solved 236 of those and failed 46. And if you've been following along, you know that's probably pretty close to my ratio there. But then there are a bunch that say 0%. And in the case of advanced checkmates, it says I have 0 rated attempts and therefore 0 failed attempts. So I can try some of those. There's Alekine's gun, which has 0%. Now, attacking the castled king, I have 1 rated attempt, then I passed it. So I have 100%. You can't quite see that. Let me scroll up. Yeah, 100%. Now, this does depend on the puzzles being themed correctly, and if you've watched a bunch of my videos, you know that not all of them are themed correctly. So it's possible that I have hit that one or hit one that had that theme, but nobody had selected that theme yet. But anyway, scrolling down to the bottom, in my previous video, I did this last one, which is I believe a German word that I can't pronounce, and I just called it the Z word. And it says I have 2 rated attempts, and I failed both of them. When I did them in my previous video here, these are not rated attempts, but I did solve all of them. So maybe the next time I get one in a rated puzzle, I'll see it. Now the Zugzwang, it says I have 100%, but I've only seen it once. X-ray attack, it says 0 rated attempts, but I did a couple of those in my last video too. Now Windmill, I did not do in my last video, so I'm going to select Windmill and click Start just to get right to the puzzles, and then I'm going to work my way up in reverse alphabetical order. Let's just click Go. Okay, and I do know what the windmill is, at least I'm pretty sure. That is the idea of when you have a rook, or sometimes a queen, but usually a rook, and a bishop pointed at right there in front of the king. Obviously, if this was a queen back here, that would just be checkmate, right? So, but since it's a rook, we can capture this pawn, and then it's check. The king has to move. But then anywhere I move my rook, it's going to be check from the bishop, and the king has to go back. If we hit with the bishop first, it's not check. And then our opponent can do something. I don't know what they would do, but they can do something. Then, of course, when we move the bishop back, that would be check. But I think we need to start with check, so that's what I'm going to play. Okay, now what I'm going to do is pick off this pawn here because it would be check from the bishop, discovered check. And then the king has to go back to where it was. I can check again, and when the king moves over, then I can go back and knock off another bishop or something like that. So I think that's what I have to do here is hit this pawn. If I come back with the rook to discover the check from my bishop, then they can block that with the pawn, and then my bishop's in danger. So I think I have to take the pawn first. Okay. Oh, they blocked with the bishop. I think we can just take that, can't we? Because if we take the rook first, then the king moves up here to g2, and then both our bishop and our rook are hanging. So I think we take the bishop first with check. I was wrong. Take the rook first. Okay, but now they're both hanging. Okay, I'm confused. Because now if I take the bishop, they take my rook. I guess I could move my bishop now and defend the rook. Is that what I should do? No. What should I? Oh, I should take the bishop with the rook. Okay, and then they checked me, so I have to move out of check. Okay, I'm going to restart that one because I thought I understood the whole windmill thing, but apparently I did not. So, okay, but I got this one right. I just didn't expect this move, and I was wrong about taking here. Why was I wrong about that? Let's see. If I capture here, that's check, and they can't block that check, so they have to move out of check. Then I would check them again, and then they would have to move out of check, and then I would have dropped back, and it would have been mate, right? Oh, no, they would have blocked with the... No, they couldn't have blocked. Sorry. I'm going to solve it the way that it said to, and then I'm going to go to the analysis board. It said to do that, and then it said to do this, and then get out of check. Okay, let me click the analysis board and see if there's something that I'm missing. Okay, I got the first part right, which was here. And then they had to move out of check. And then I took this. They blocked with the bishop. Okay, now here, what's so wrong about taking the bishop? It says I still only have a very slight advantage, but they're going to go here. And then I would have checked them on g2. They would have to go to h1. Oh no, it's not mate to come back now because their rook hits their rook is pointed at my bishop. Okay, so we would have ended up back here, which is where we were, but now I can't take the rook. Okay, I understand. All right, well, let's do another windmill then and see if I get any better at this. I don't think that's it, is it? I do know that my bishop is cutting off these. Normally a windmill is with the bishop and the rook somehow lining up next to the king. But I'm not seeing that here. My queen is hanging. If I take their queen, they're going to take back, right? I assume they would take back. They might even take back with the king because why not? And it looks like I'm down on material. I'm down a whole piece right now. And I can't take this pawn because their rook is pointed at it. I mean, I could, but I think I have to take the queen. If the king takes back, I can check here and then knock off some pieces maybe. If the knight takes back, I can no, I can't check on the bottom, on the back rank because they have two pieces guarding that square. So then what would I do? They take their, well, I have no idea. Is there something better? What if I just bring the queen back right now, pointed through this way? Are any of my other pieces under attack right now? I don't see that they are. But I know I can't, that's the only check I have, right? Yeah, that's the only check I have. And that's the only capture I have besides these two pawns, which are well defended. I can't capture anything else, so can I threaten anything else? Because that's what we usually look for, is checks, captures, and threats. In a game, I would be very strongly tempted to pull my queen back here to e2, but there's probably some problem with that. Because I can't check over here because of that knight. Also, their queen could just go back to where it was. Plus, they would have a move in the meantime, and I don't know what that move would be. It might be, after I pull the queen back, it might be advancing the pawn. And I certainly don't see a windmill here, but I'm going to attack the queen. That was wrong. Okay. Was it pulling back here? No. Well, what was it? Here? No. Okay, well, I'm going to click the hint button because those are the only moves that make any sense at all to me. It's... What? It says to put the rook on c7, which I understand that they can't capture me because their queen is pinned right now. But my queen's undefended, so they're just going to take it, right? Okay, now are we looking at a windmill? Is that what this is? Okay, I had to set up the windmill in this one. So oh, that was the end of the puzzle? All right, that one says it's rated 1762. Also, it says discovered attack. Where was the discovered attack? Since the puzzle didn't continue, there's no discovered attack. So I'm gonna down thumbs that. There was a pin. Their queen was pinned by my queen when I moved my rook down there. Queen sacrificed, definitely, but they just got it, so I didn't sacrifice it for anything. Now, if we click the analysis button, I know that the game, that cropped well enough, I know that the game would have continued if I had done that, given up my queen, and checked here, which is the end of the puzzle. I know that they're forced to go here, but then what would I do? I know I can check again anywhere I move the rook because that would be a discovered attack or a discovered check. It says I would take the bishop. Nope. Now it says rook to c7 check. That's where it just was. Yeah, Stockfish wants us to repeat moves. That's ridiculous. In real life, I think I would be tempted to take this pawn with check. That would be check from the bishop. So the king would have to move over and then I would take the queen. But I would also strongly be tempted to take this bishop first because they can't take back because they're in check. So here there's only one legal move. Then I would check again, was my only good move. Then they have to go back. And then it says I can take the knight, right? Because the king is trapped back there. So I would take the knight and the king has to go here. Then I come back, king has to go here. Now I go over and take this one. King has to go there, and I get the queen. Okay. The puzzle should have continued for at least some time, but the reason that it didn't is because after this check, if black's king had moved over here, which was the only legal move, all of my remaining moves are about the same. In a puzzle, one move has to be significantly better than the others. That's why it stopped right there. I think that's a poorly constructed puzzle because it doesn't teach. You have to actually go to the analysis board. It doesn't teach anything. Okay, I'm going to try one more windmill, because clearly I need to work on it. All right, now here, this is what I was talking about. We have a bishop and a rook lined up on this king. So let's take this with check. I'm pretty sure now we need to take the pawn with check, because if we do something else like move the rook back, they can block the bishop's check with the pawn. Oh, they blocked the bishop's check with this pawn over here. Okay, well, that's check. That's check. And then I'm pretty sure I check again here. Right, because now when it moves, that's checkmate. Or close enough. Okay. Let's go back to the, how do you get back to the themes page? Right there? Okay. I'm going to scroll down to the end and I'm going to uncheck windmill. It says I have 0% on the two bishops checkmate. Well, that's because I don't know how to checkmate with two bishops, but also because I have had 0 rated attempts with it. Well, that's 100%. 0 out of 0, right? That's 100%. So how could my score be 0%? I'm not a math expert. It might be 0%. Okay. I'm playing with the black pieces. Oh, I have a rook right here. Can I just take their bishop? Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, their king has just moved here because I had it in check. I can check again, but then it moves out of check. And then would that be mate? Let's see, check. Can't go back and can't go forward because of my light squared bishop. They can't go here or here, or well, you obviously can't stay there because of my rook. So they would have to move to d2. And then would that be mate? Because then my dark squared bishop would cut off all of these, including protecting the rook, and my light squared bishop would cut off of this, and my rook would be guarding this square. So yeah, it's not technically the two bishops mate because the rook was involved, but I got it. So let's click next and see if I get another one. Okay, sorry if this video is not very exciting to you, but I didn't know what to expect when I went here, so I'm kind of learning as I go, and maybe, hopefully, some of you can also get something out of this. Well, I do have two bishops. I do know that that's not checkmate because the knight can capture me there. But if the knight captures me there, I would have a follow-up check with this bishop, but then they would just block with the rook, right? And I would have lost a queen for nothing. Also, anywhere they move their bishop, it's going to be check for me. Let's see. What if I check here? They can capture with their bishop, so that's not good. And I could capture back, but then they would take, and then they would still have this problem down here with my king. I'm going to go back to this first one. My check on b1 with my queen, protected by my bishop, so they couldn't take with their king. They would be forced to take with their knight. They wouldn't have a choice. So they would take back with their knight. I would have a check here on f4, and their king could not move out of check because their knight would be over there, and my light squared bishop's cutting off this square, my dark squared bishop's cutting off this square, but again, they could block with their rook, and that's the end of it. So what is, is it just taking the knight? It's a queen sacrifice, isn't it? If I take the knight, the king has to capture because my light squared bishop's cutting off those squares. And once they do, then their rook can't block that check anymore. Oh, but then they can just get out of check. They have to take. I do have a follow-up check, but they just get out. Surely it's not taking the pawn. Because they would have to take back. But then my bishop goes here and their king can't move. That's it, isn't it? Oh my. Well, I clearly need work on this two bishops checkmate, so let's do one more, and then I'll see about another category before we run out of time. All right, once again, I do have two bishops. I can take this bishop with check, but I think the queen would recapture. Or, what if I check here with my queen first? And if they take with their bishop, I'll take it with my bishop, And they don't have anything that can block that except their queen, which I would then recapture. And that would be mate because their king can't move right now due to my other bishop. Oh my. I did a good job on that one. Okay. I'm going to go back here, scroll down to the end, uncheck 2 bishops mate. Trapped piece? Oh, it says I have 80% on that. Well, good for me. Stalemate. 0 rated attempts. Okay, well, why haven't they given me rated attempts? I do rated puzzles all the time. Is the theme that I'm supposed to stalemate them? Or they're supposed to try to avoid stalemate? Because I'm pretty sure I want to avoid stalemate. They can draw from here, can't they? Can't they force the draw? Maybe not. Let's see. Well, if I go there, it's stalemate. Because they won't have any legal moves. My pawn cuts this off, and my king would cut off the other 2 squares, g7 and g8. So to avoid stalemate, I can't put my king here. I can't put my king here because I have to give them a legal move. But if I put my king here on f6, that leaves them 1 legal move. And then I push the pawn forward, and then their only legal move is to go to h7, and I push my king forward. They can't go in front of my pawn. They have to get out. Okay. See, they won't. Right now, if I push this pawn forward, the pawn will be guarding that square, and my king is guarding these squares, so they'll have to go there. So, and then I just go around it. Yeah. Okay, so the theme was stalemate because the opponent was trying to get a stalemate, and I'm trying to avoid one. Wait, this is a stalemate? How am I avoiding a stalemate in this position? I don't know why this one has the theme of stalemate, because it doesn't look like we're about to stalemate. But in the habit of looking at checks first, I saw this knight check, which is kind of a fork between these 2 pieces. The pawn cannot capture because my rook will be pinning that pawn to the king, but the rook could capture. So if I did that, check with the knight on d6, the rook captures back. But then I can check with the rook on c7. They could take it back, but I'm going to win their queen for free. Not for free, because I just gave away a knight and a rook. But maybe that's it. Maybe. Well, but right now I'm up a knight, though. I'm up a whole knight. But you know what they're about to do if I'm not careful? They're about to go right here, I think, and take my queen when I get out of check. Right? Let's say it's their turn. If it's black's turn, they're going to go to h1. I have to get out of check. I don't have a choice. They're going to win my queen. So, and also they're going to be getting really close to mate with the rook cutting off this file. So I'm going to try this move because I have no idea what to do, and I don't see how this has anything to do with the stalemate. Oh, that was right. Well, that must mean this is right, and that this is right. Okay. Oh, this one is themed incorrectly. That's why it showed up under stalemate. It says bishop pair. No, there were no bishops on the board. Discovered attack. Yes, I discovered the attack on my queen, on their queen when I moved my rook. So yes, discovered attack. Doubled rooks? No, there were no doubled rooks on this promotion. No. See, somebody's going through here and spamming these themes. Rooks on the 7th. I did technically have a rook on the 7th, but no, that's the 2nd. So no, it's not rooks on the 7th. Skewer? I don't think so, but definitely not stalemate. We got to uncheck stalemate. Now this one also says stalemate. So I think, again, we have a problem with the themes. So next time I try this, I'm going to try it over on Lichess because the themes seem to be 100% more accurate over there. Because this isn't a stalemate, I'm pretty sure. I can take their queen, right? I'm playing with the black pieces. That's not stalemate. That's checkmate, right? Because my pawn cuts off this escape square. How is that stalemate? No. Rooks on the... No, there's no rooks on the 7th, so it's not that. Mate in 1, yes. Bishop pair? No, I mean, there are bishop pairs, but that's not the theme. Vulnerable king, yes. Okay. All right, this is... I'm not embarrassed by this because this is not my doing. This is chess.com's doing. They could moderate these themes much better than they do. All right, well, here I don't think there is any option... Well, yes, there is. I was going to say, but to get in front of my pawn, that would prevent their king from coming back, right? but that's not going to work. If I get in front of if I get in front of my pawn in order to keep their king from coming back, their king's going to go to c7, and then my king can't get out. I can go down, but then so can they, and we're just going to go back and forth, and that's a stalemate. But I can keep their king from coming back by playing a7, because right now my king is cutting off these squares, and my pawn there would cut off that one. So I think that has to be it, because then their king's going to have to go to one of these two squares over here, and then I can promote. Oh, that was just a one mover? Okay, well, I have time to go back and look at one more theme. Hopefully it will be better than stalemate. Oh, smothered mate. It says I got 100% of the time. Simplification, I have 4 rated attempts and I've failed all of them. So let's check simplification and we'll try that one. So I need to get better at stuff. Okay, now that we know that the theme is simplification, and assuming that the theme is correct, what I understand simplification to be in chess is when you have some small material advantage or positional advantage, like I haven't looked at the board yet, like a passed pawn or an extra piece, and you want to simplify by trading off pieces of equal value in order to get down to where your advantage stands out a lot. Kind of like think of back in the Cold War days when one side had a bunch of nuclear weapons and the other side had a bunch of nuclear weapons. One side had 20 more nuclear weapons. It's not that big of an advantage. But if one side only had 2 nuclear weapons and the other ones had 10, that's a bigger advantage. So you want to simplify down is the idea. Okay, let me look. Do I have an advantage here? We both have 2 rooks. We both have 2 minor pieces. Nobody has a passed pawn. So what is the advantage I should be trying to simplify here? I don't think simplification, I don't think that's the theme here. I think my best move is to take this pawn. The reason I think that is because that discovers an attack on this rook. If they move their queen out, oh no, they would take it because they have their rook here too. So that's not my best move, probably. Because this doesn't look like a simplification situation to me. But maybe that's why I need to work on it. Perhaps, obviously, I can take this knight. Because the knight's about to fork me right here if I don't do something else. Okay, so what if I take the knight? Are they going to take back with their pawn or the queen? If they take back with the queen, then they no longer have 2 pieces guarding this pawn, and I could take the pawn. And if they took back, I could take back with my queen, and then that rook is hanging down in the corner. I think it has something to do with that, but I just don't know. I'm gonna take the knight, and that's probably wrong, but that's how these things go sometimes. Oh, that was right, and they did take with the queen. Well, I want to get this rook out of the way of me taking that rook. It's probably not this bishop, because they'll take back. I think they would take back, but then I would get the rook for free. So I would be going down an exchange temporarily in order to just win a piece. But that's not simplification, at least the way that I understand it. That's just winning material. Is that what I should do? Or should I directly threaten that rook? I don't think so. This is why I don't think so. Because here, if I do this and they take back, I take back, then they can move their rook out of danger. So that's why I think it might be taking the bishop, because that kind of forces a response. And then I get the rook. And if they instead move the rook out of danger, then I can move my rook out of danger. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Good for me. Okay. But yeah, that I think simplification was not the answer here. It also said the theme was bishop pair, clearance, sacrifice, discovered attack. Okay, discovered attack, yes, for sure. Exchange, sacrifice. I'm not certain, so I'm not going to do anything with that one. Removing the defender. What did I remove? Oh, I did remove the defender of that pawn when I kind of got the queen up here, but I don't think it's that. Rook's on the 7th. Again, no rooks were on the 7th. Oh, my rook was on their 2nd rank. Maybe that's what they mean. I'm going to say no to simplification. X-ray attack. I think that counts as an X-ray attack. And then there's that German word that I don't know how to pronounce. Okay. Well, I'm going to do one more simplification and see what happens here. See if there's actually a simplification. Okay, here we are again, even on material, I believe. If I take their queen and they take back, oh, I would just win their bishop. That's not simplification, is it? That's just winning a piece. Certainly they would take back. And then I would take back. Then what would they do? Well, I can also check, too, once these 2 pieces are out of the way. Let's just do it. Should I check first? No, because then they'll block the check. Oh, yeah, that wasn't simplification. It also wasn't a pin. I don't know what the theme should have been on that one, but anyway. All right. Well, thank you for watching. I'm still struggling my way through these things, not only chess, but also the interfaces and the varying levels of quality of these websites. So, and by the way, the website might be perfect and it might be me that just doesn't understand any of this stuff. I'm fully aware of that. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.